In the day's other headlines, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is calling President Trump's comments about NATO troops serving in Afghanistan insulting and appalling. During an interview on the sidelines of the Davos World Economic Forum yesterday, Trump said of NATO member nations, quote, "They'll say they sent some troops to Afghanistan. They stayed a little back, a little off the front lines." Speaking today, Starmer pointed out that more than 150,000 British troops served in Afghanistan in the years after the U.S.-led invasion in 2001, and more than 450 died.
If I had misspoken in that way or said those words, I would certainly apologise. And I'm not surprised they've caused such hurt to the loved ones of those who were killed or injured.
Meantime, in another fallout from Davos, President Trump has withdrawn his invitation to Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney to join his Board of Peace. That comes after Carney delivered a stark speech in Switzerland in which he warned about what he called the rupture in the world order. He called on so-called middle powers like Canada to band together to adapt to the new global reality. In Abu Dhabi, diplomats from Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S. met today for talks on ending the nearly 4-year war in Ukraine. The gathering was the first time on record that officials from the Trump administration have sat down with both countries at once. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the future of Ukraine's eastern Donbas region will be key to any success in the talks. Russian leader Vladimir Putin has called on Kyiv to withdraw its troops from such areas. The White House described today's talks as productive and said conversations would continue into the weekend. The FBI says it has arrested Ryan Wedding, a former Olympic snowboarder and alleged drug kingpin. Officials say the 44-year-old oversaw a multinational cocaine operation running from Colombia through Mexico and into the U.S. and Canada. They say he also orchestrated a number of witness killings to keep it going. Wedding was one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives, a far cry from his former life as a snowboarder representing his native Canada in the 2002 Winter Olympics. Today, FBI Director Kash Patel said Wedding was apprehended in Mexico last night, where he'd been hiding for the past decade.
He is a modern-day El Chapo. He is a modern-day Pablo Escobar. And he thought he could evade justice. And here we are today, bringing him to justice for trafficking hundreds of kilos of cocaine and also for the murder of innocent civilians.
Canadian police say Wedding also faces separate drug trafficking charges there that date back to 2015. Vice President J.D. Vance rallied anti-abortion activists in Washington, D.C. today as part of the annual March for Life.
We have made tremendous strides over the last year, and we're going to continue to make strides over the next 3 years to come.
Vance cited the expansion of a ban on funding for U.S. foreign aid groups that support abortion services, and he emphasized the importance of boosting the nation's birth rates, just days after he and wife Usha announced they're expecting their 4th child. The event also included a video address from President Trump, followed by the march itself. The mood was largely upbeat, though some activists have called for the administration to do more to crack down on abortion pills like mifepristone. The city of Philadelphia is suing the Trump administration over the removal of a slavery exhibit at the Independence National Historical Park. Yesterday, National Park Service crews removed display panels from the president's house, where George Washington once lived, that commemorated people enslaved there by his family. The Interior Department cited President Trump's executive order aimed at, quote, restoring truth and sanity to American history. Today, handmade signs covered the space where the panels hung with messages that read, "Learn all history," and "History is real." On Wall Street today, stocks ended mixed after a week dominated by talk of tariffs. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost nearly 300 points on the day. The Nasdaq managed a gain of about 65 points. The S&P 500 added just 2 points, so basically flat. And Trinity Rodman is now reportedly the highest-paid women's soccer player in the world. The 23-year-old forward signed a 3-year deal with the Washington Spirit, where she started her career. It's valued at an estimated $2 million per year when counting in bonuses. The deal comes amid a broader legal fight over salary caps in the National Women's Soccer League. In a statement, Rodman said, quote, "We're chasing championships and raising the standard, and I can't wait to keep doing that with my teammates." Rodman has scored 11 goals and 47 appearances for the national team, more than any other player on the roster. Still to come on the NewsHour, David Brooks and Jonathan Capehart weigh in on the week's political headlines. A surge of new measles cases raises worrying questions about the drop in vaccination rates. And a new book explores a 1980s New York subway shooting that defined an era.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, headquarters of PBS News.
Hey, just a minute before you move on, I want to say thank you for watching and for supporting us. It's you, all of our viewers, our readers, and our listeners who make everything that we do possible. So thank you from everyone here at PBS News.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.